Hello there everybody, you are the audience, my name is Supersonic Blur, and welcome to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. No, this is not a Pokemon game. I know, after coming off of the heels of Pokemon Black, I do have the next Pokemon game that we're going to be working on. However, that one's going to take a little bit more time in planning, and so, in the meantime, I got a hankering to come back to, and I quote, my favorite game on the 3DS and my favorite Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright game in both of their respective series. This game is a love letter to both of them, and one which I can gush about for hours on end. I absolutely love this. This was a meeting of minds that I absolutely love, up there with what Kingdom Hearts did by mashing Final Fantasy and Disney, in my opinion. I absolutely love this game. I love everything about it. I've streamed this game. I've played through this game multiple times. This is one of the few games that I still have the physical copy of. I physically have this. I have a load of stuff that I got rid of, but I did not get rid of this because it is just far, far, far too good. So without much further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this game. First, we've got a name. I believe that my whole name fits in, or is it just yeah, it's just Supersonic, which you know, it'll do. For now, and that'll do. There we go. Supersonic, is that okay? Yes, it is. So yes, do keep in mind, this is a complete work of fiction, everything, you know, the usual side of things on that. Also, yeah, I should probably mention the elephant in the room. There's a face cam. Hi. This is, well, multiple reasons. Mostly to try and make sure that I had something to fill the space, so put my face in instead. So far, we already have our first cutscene. I like how this game opens. It just comes in at a nice point. It's very... this is more towards this sort of Phoenix Wright style of opening, where it's a cold open to something energetic. Layton games are a little bit more reserved usually in their opening, with things much calmer, whereas we just immediately come in, car chase, explosions, Italians. It's got everything really. But no, I do like this. There's some bits of this that are a bit, don't think about them too much, like this. Yep, those are statues. They came to life.
That's impossible.
Yeah. But no, this is a very fun game. I love it. I love its plot. And I'll gush about it lots throughout this series, which may be a longer one. This game kind of reasonably length, you know. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but we'll work on that when we get there, I suppose. And somehow both of them got completely thrown from the car despite wearing seatbelts, I assume. And they're completely out of it.
Go without me. Quickly. Get going.
And Mr. Carmine Accidente, unfortunately there, just I mean, it was bad. It was kind of prophesized that it was going to happen. Carmine Accidente. I know in the German version of the game that their name is Will Crash. But look who we've got here, then. It's Inspector Chelmy.
What do we have here?
Yeah. And the car thrown into a tree, which is kind of not great. Kind of not great. But here we are with the prologue of the story. I believe that's on a dark and stormy night. Yes, on a dark and stormy night. Oh, I love everything about this. And unfortunately,
What the blazes?
not everything is going to be is going to have voice audio, so you're going to have to listen to me do a lot of that, but you know, it's kind of okay.
Blimey, this is going to be a tough nut to crack.
That it is. Thankfully, though, the voice I can do for Chelmy is pretty much spot on. So you're all okay on that regard, I assume.
There is one man I know who could get to the bottom of this.
Just one? I'm also impressed that the car somehow still has the lights on, despite having a massive hole. Ah!
Did you say witches, Professor?
Where's my top hat?
That's right. People in the Middle Ages very much believed in their existence.
I have the top hat and everything. I can't wear it.
Trials. Do you see?
I can kind of try, but there we go. I'll just sit like this, pressing it up against, well, the roof of the bed, but, you know.
Did witches really exist in those days?
But yes, no, I do own a top hat, okay? I own a top hat, a cane, tails. I'm what you call eccentric. And that's okay. As I assumed that many people have noticed by the fact that I'm sat here with suspenders, a tie, and a shirt for a YouTube recording.
Well,
Yeah,
boy,
that's
witch
how I do.
trials certainly existed, although nobody ever truly used magic.
No, none of them did. However, it was something that people did to pass the time. There was, what things did they do? It was, if you could stop someone having a fit with just a touch, you were considered a witch. If you weighed less than a Bible, then you were considered a witch. If you floated on water, you were considered a witch.
Wow.
Oh,
really
and here we get the best part.
Come on, Nick. Take
The
it out.
mashing of musics. Level 5, Capcom, music, everything. It's so grand. It's brilliant.
This is
I
no
love it.
time to be
Also, I'd like to
stupid.
point out,
You will
2014,
win a
Phoenix is wearing a mask.
that attitude.
You can wear a mask
Just
now.
an exchange visit courtesy of the Legal League of Attorneys. I won't be defending in court officially.
Aw,
Hmm.
well that's no fun.
Turnabout Sisters. It's so synonymous with Phoenix Wright at this point that it can't help but elicit a smile from people. It's so good.
Would go over here.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't talk like that. You only jinx the whole thing.
I do like, though, that this, for me, the reason I say this is my favorite game of both of them is because this is the perfect gateway game into either. If you've not played a Professor Layton game, but you've played Phoenix Wright games, this is the best gateway into it because it's got parts of both of them. If you've never played a Phoenix Wright game, this is a Professor Layton game that lets you see Phoenix Wright stuff. And they treat both audiences with respect, whilst also knowing that some people aren't going to know who they are. So it doesn't do the whole, my name is Phoenix Wright, I'm a lawyer from this, I was you know, it doesn't do that. It builds it up slowly in a nice way, and I love it. Absolutely brilliant. They play it beautifully. I love what they did with this game. They tutorialized both of them, which could sound awful, because that makes it sound like you've got a super long tutorial, but you don't. Because it's fun and engaging, and it's not like 2 hours. Kingdom Hearts 2. Anyway.
I agree, Luke.
Oh, Layton, I love you.
It is easing off a little now, so it should clear up soon.
It certainly should. But yes, honestly, this is one of the things, like, that got me a little bit to dabble with voice acting stuff, is just doing voices for, like, Luke, Chelmy, all these these games, because they're a lot of fun. And I did certainly enjoy doing it.
Afraid of lightning, I take it?
That, and because I somehow managed to find a way to almost perfectly imitate the voice of Herschel Layton.
Of course not. I'm not a little kid, you know.
Yeah. My favourite thing that I know about this is, to anyone in the UK, there was an old set of toothpaste adverts with a daddy toothpaste, or a daddy blob of toothpaste, a mummy blob of toothpaste, and a baby, and like a kid blob of toothpaste. The voice actor for Luke is the same one who voices the, who voices those in those adverts. I think it was Colgate or something, I'm not sure, but it was kind of fun.
Every time I brush, I get a special star. And nice clean teeth. I'm a real cleaning star.
I enjoyed that. It's just a little fun thing that I noticed. Then let's wait a while for it to settle. Luke, I have just the thing to take your mind off it. Take a look on the bookshelf. The bookshelf? What's on the bookshelf? You'll know when you find it. Do you recall our usual method of investigation? Of course I do! Oh, I expected as much. But just to be sure, let's have a refresher. Yes, tutorializing. This is the only one in the tutorial that I'm a little bit upset with. I would have liked it if this gave you the option to respond, but that is something that was done more with, the Phoenix Wright games where you have the dialogue trees. Layton games never gave you a dialogue tree. It was more you can interact with someone and then you get a specific script thing. But I would have liked to see that. But yeah, the basic idea of thing. And I like these. This was a nice one. Unlike the previous games on the DS where it's just tap everything and then hope you find something. This was like, hey, have a sort of swipe over and eventually you'll find something. So I thought that was always pretty good. But yes, you can find puzzles and hint coins waiting to be found. Hint coins will become invaluable later on when tackling difficult puzzles. They will, because as much as I say this is my favorite game, I don't remember everything on it. Some of the earlier ones will be fairly easy, but obviously, you know, saying that the early ones are going to be easy is pretty obvious. It's almost bordering on tautology at that point, but still. Gotta investigate. I know they said the bookshelf, but I like as well that there's some other things that you can see in the background to some of these things. So, for example, you've got over here, you've got Layton's record player. You've got a bunch of the stuff from the archaeology, the tea sets. I don't think that's a picture of Flora. I don't think it is anyway, but it like part of the outfit might be. I can't tell what that is, but I always looked at that and thought that was like Flora's outfit. Some kind of a picture, but I like that there's just little things. Your tea is extraordinarily fragrant, Professor. And yeah, you get multiple things as well. You have a discerning nose, Luke. I got this special Darjeeling blend from the University Chancellor. A gentleman's love for tea is pure, strong, and everlasting, I guess. Yeah, I like that you got, you know, when they investigated as well, you got more than one bit of dialogue for it as well. Now, that was always quite fun. I believe there's, yeah, if it sparkles, it's a hint coin. The game also benevolently starts you off with 30 hint coins. So we come out of here with 33. And then, what else have we got? We've got on the sofa. I wouldn't call it comfortable, but it will suffice for a quick nap. Napping on the couch is bad for you, Professor. You'll hurt your neck. When I think about that paper I need to finish writing when I get home, staying here seems very appealing. So I like that as well. Like, even though the professor is, like Professor Layton is, with their creation, they originally were, Phoenix Wright, but better and without their character flaws. That's literally how they were described as when it came for inspiration. They still have that small human elements. They're very messy. They'll nap on a couch. They'll make mistakes. They'll be somewhat rash. At times. The professor will do these things. Even just small things like, I'd rather stay here than go back and write a paper. You know, procrastinating. It's those small little things. So even though the professor was designed to be a Mary Sue with no real downsides, they shoved those back in there when they got more comfortable with them. Oh, isn't this a picture book? Wow, I wouldn't have expected you to have a picture book, Professor. Wait a second. That's right, my boy. There's a puzzle hidden within that book. I should have known. You even have puzzles hiding in your books, Professor. All right then, Luke. Why not see if you can solve this one? Well, naturally. After all, I am your apprentice. Ugh. I'm glad I have some water on hand as well, because I'm not going to lie, doing these voices is going to take a bit of time. But yes, puzzle number 01, Paths of Light. 20 Picarats. A light witch and a dark witch are trying to fly back home to their castles. Each castle is coloured to match each witch. Their way home is connected by colourful paths of light. Touching one of these paths will cause those paths to disappear. Help the witches fly the right path to their respective castles by removing the unwanted paths. So yeah, this is a fun little one. And this one, you know, it's a fairly nice one. It starts you off without too many problems. It's also quite a nice one to start working with the memo tool. So in this instance, the Black Witch wants to move over 2, and the White Witch wants to go -2. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 2. Yeah, so this one's going all the way here. So this one is currently going -2, and the White Witch, which I'll do in white, is going +1, 0, -1, -2, -3, +2. So the white witch is currently fine, but the black witch is not. So we need to remove some things from that to start it off. So we go, we'll just clear that out. Also, so I'm not capturing the mouse just because that'd be really annoying for a lot of the time. So I will try and use the memo function a little bit more than I would normally do. So, for this one, let's start off by just saying, let's get rid of one of these. I don't know whether or not it said how many they wanted, which is remove the right paths. So it doesn't say how many that you need to remove, so do keep that in mind. There could be multiple that remove. So let's start by removing this one, see how that affects things. You go -1, +++, so the black witch is fine. It is the white witch, let's check it. So, 1, 1, 1. So it almost makes it, but then it gets snagged and ends up over here. So let's try removing another one. I do actually know the answer for this one. I'm pretty sure that it's blue and orange that you remove. So let's try that, see what it ends up looking like. We'll go to the memo. We'll clear that out. So it's up 1, 2. No, is it blue that you keep? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember at this point. Again, I said I remember. I don't remember a lot of these, but this one's a fairly easy one. It's just sort of trial and error for this one, really. So you go over, 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 over. You'll go the wrong spot, so it's not that one. So let's try that and see what happens. Memo, clear it. You go over, 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 back. You go over, over, and you're wrong. Is it that? I honestly don't remember. So you go there, so that's not right in the start. I'm pretty sure it is blue, and is it green? Over, 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 over. No, over, 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 over. So it's not that. So let's start by actually doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it just the orange path we don't need? Let's see. 1, 2. Nope, that doesn't work. So you need to go back one before that. So you go 1, 2, 3. That doesn't work. So that's not that. That's not that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Again, trial and error. I'm still an idiot. But that and that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I knew it was blue and green, but I couldn't remember if it was blue and green you had to keep. But that should be the right option there. We'll go there. Do this. Over 1, 2, 3, 4 without too much trouble. So we put the black witch just out of the way onto the round side and they can come back through. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4 and up. So that should work. God, it'll be embarrassing if I mess up the first puzzle, won't it? But we didn't. So all is fair and right with the world. And that's fine.
Don't worry. Leave this one to me.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do the next one too.
Yeah. Outstanding. Both witches managed to cross the colourful paths and find their way home. Well done, Luke. Well, that was a piece of cake. I can solve harder puzzles than that. I'm pleased to hear that, Luke. It was a charming little puzzle, though, like straight out of a fairy tale. If only the witches of the Middle Ages were as jolly as the ones in this picture book. Yes, indeed. Well, it looks as if the rain is about to stop. Shall we prepare to go home? Okay, Professor. Now, where did I put my umbrella? Professor, I think we have a visitor. At this late an hour? I can't say I've been expecting anybody. I'll go and see who it is. Ah, plot convenience. It is also kind of lucky that Carmine, or that the professor didn't change their office at all and happened to be there. I love this, though. I love that there's that subtle little thing that you notice. Not only is the character design slightly less that you would see from the level 5 Professor Layton stuff, but in order to go with that, they put the text scroll from Phoenix Wright, the little sound, and I love it. I love it at times. You get that. It's very, very nice to see that come through. Are you Mr. Herschel Layton? Yes, indeed I am. My dear young lady, how may I be of assistance? I have been asked to give you a letter. Please, Could you read this? This letter, it's from Carmine. Carmina? Who's Carmina? He was a student of mine a number of years ago, and if I recall correctly, he's now a detective. Wow, a detective? About Carmine. Yes? Well, I'm sorry. It appears there may be a matter of some considerable importance within this letter. Well, let's read it right away, Professor. Yes, look here. You read it for us, and aloud, so we can all hear it. Professor, can you not read?
Dear Professor.
Oh, I love this voice. I love the Italian accent. It's so nice.
There is so much I would like to tell you, but at present I do not have the time. My life is in danger.
I'm pretty sure it's Italian. I'm 80% sure. Now I've said it out loud, I'm not, which scares me.
It all started in a town called Labyrinthia. A mysterious town.
One you will not find on any map. Mm-hmm. So there's our plot MacGuffin.
During the course of an investigation, while I was there, a series of unbelievable events occurred right before my eyes.
Things that I will not write down in this so you can experience them for yourself.
I realized the town held a mysterious secret and decided to get to the bottom of it.
That you did, but then you ended out.
But before I could, they found me.
They?
I escaped from Labyrinthia with a young woman by the name of Espella.
Here's the question I have. If you can't find Labyrinthia on a map and you escape from Labyrinthia, how did you make your way back to London if you didn't know where you were? Because if you could trace your path from Labyrinthia to London, then you know where Labyrinthia is. Again, don't think about the game too. Don't think about it too hard, okay? Don't think about it too hard. It's probably for the best.
Labyrinthia hides an ominous mystery. This is one puzzle that appears to be beyond my powers to solve.
That it is. Unfortunate.
For imposing on you in this way. Your faithful student, Carmine Accidenti.
Yeah. Means car accident. I'm pretty sure in Italian. 90% sure it's Italian. Well, I never. Professor! Am I right in assuming that you are the Espella to whom Carmine is referring? Yes, I am. Tell me, what on earth happened? Why are your eyes so big and realistic? I'm afraid. I'm not entirely sure. Also, don't expect me to do female voice as well. I don't have the register for it. It seemed as if we were being chased relentlessly. They caught up with us, and we were attacked. As a result, Carmine was injured, and... I see. I'm sorry to hear that. He bravely did his best to ensure that I escaped safely. I beg you, please help him. Please help that brave man. You mustn't worry about him, Espella. Knowing Carmine as I do, I'm sure he'll be all right. But ever since I've known him, he's always been in some difficult situation or other, and he's never failed to win through. More importantly, at the moment I'm frankly more concerned with your safety, Espella. You're concerned about me? According to this letter, the one they're after is you. Are you certain that you are all right? You aren't injured, are you? Me? No, I'm fine, really. These also things remind me of the Let's Dub stuff for the Phoenix Wright games that were done. Mwah, absolutely love it. I may have been insane enough to actually take the 5th game and script the entire thing from the transcribes, reformatting it, because I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind giving it a go at trying to do that stuff. It seems kind of fun, not gonna lie. I think you'd better take a rest, even if just for a little while. Your clothes are all wet too. I'll go find you a dry towel. Thank you. You're really too kind. It's no trouble at all. As soon as you're more comfortable, we can sit down and talk. That they can, and that they will. Professor? If what was written in that letter is true... Yes, indeed. It means this young lady is in real danger. And it also means that her pursuers might even come to this office in search of her. I'll go and lock the door then. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. At any rate, we'll need to talk to Espella and find out what this really is all about. That we will. And our first mystery, Espella Cantabella. A strangely dressed young girl suddenly appears, asking Professor Layton for help. It would seem she is being pursued by someone or something. Espella had appeared at my study, full of fear. I do not know who she is or where she has come from, but I wish to help her. Yes, and now we do also as well. The nice thing they have, you can use a the D-pad and stuff, or the circle pad. I am using a controller for this, so some of this stuff's going to be controller, some of it's not going to be. But yes, let's talk to Espella. I'm sorry to have put you both at all this trouble. Please, think nothing of it. Although, if it is all right with you, I'd like to ask a little more about what had happened. We won't be able to protect you without a clear understanding of the circumstances. Protect me? It is my belief that you are in quite considerable danger. And it is the duty of every gentleman to help a lady in trouble. I sincerely thank you. Now, it would certainly appear that you are being pursued. However, Carmine's letter referred to your pursuers as they. Could you tell me who they might be? They are witches. Oh? What? Did you just say witches? Yes, witches, and they are truly terrifying. Coming to this desk to protect me from them, but in the end he was unable to escape. They caught up with us, and if they realize I'm here, then you two may also end up in danger. Perhaps it would have been better if I hadn't come here. Espella? Yes? You mustn't worry yourself. Everything is going to be all right. Really? You have my word. We'll be on our guard. That's right. Nothing to worry about. This place is tightly locked up. Thank you both. Espella, I'd like to inquire a little more, if I may. Yes, of course. The town you came from is called Labyrinthia, isn't it? Yes, that's right. Espella? What's the matter? Well, we are in Labyrinthia now, aren't we? Huh? No, we're in London, in England. London? England? I'm sorry, but I don't understand. What? Oh, no way! You mean to tell me you've never heard of England? God save the Queen! Tea and crumpets! Pound sterling! Top hats! Top of the morning to you! No, that's Irish. Well, it's just that I've never come across a place by that name in Labyrinthia. Espella, are you sure you're feeling all right? No, Luke. I believe Espella really doesn't know. Espella, about this town of Labyrinthia, I'm afraid we've never heard of it either. If I may ask, where exactly is Labyrinthia? It's what?
Anything you could want to know about Labyrinthia can be found in this book.
And you wonder why I'm not going to be able to do Espella's voice. There's Espella's voice.
Anything?
Yes, anything at all.
It's an amazing design. I've never seen a book quite like it.
I would say I do love the design of the book. Absolutely beautiful.
Espella, would you mind if we had a closer look?
Of course.
Yes, the Historia Labyrinthia, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I love the cover. If I ever got to have a customizable like book in this regard. I'd want it to be like this. Also, I'll try not to spoil things. I will try not to spoil for anyone who has not seen the game, but it's going to be very difficult. So things may slip up. Like I said, I have played through the game before multiple times, and it's been a lot of fun. Huh?
I must be seeing things. It was as if the words were moving on the page.
No, Luke. It looked the same to me, too.
Look, there's a picture of the town in here. So this is Labyrinthia, is it?
This is where it turns out this is actually just a DM's notes for a campaign they were writing.
That's Labyrinthia.
This is in fact a D&D game. Actually, now I think about it, it's kind of interesting. I hadn't played D&D when I first started reading this, but I'm currently in the middle of, well, I say the middle. I've started my addiction towards D&D, and I've got a really nice notebook which I've been sort of going through, and I'm gonna use that to sort of document all of the stuff. I've only got the first session in there, but it's already been really fun documenting that kind of stuff. I may have bought like 6 of these books. Well, 5 of those, but I got 5 of those, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna need a set of mechanical pencils to go with it, and like all this stuff to sort of do it like properly, because I'm a perfectionist. I typed up all the notes that I wanted to write in the book just to make sure that it was grammatically correct and there were no spelling errors before rewriting it. It's like I said, you're talking to or you're watching the person who meticulously took the transcript of the 5th Phoenix Wright game and reformatted it into script format. So yeah, it's kind of stuff that I would do. But anyway, back to the game. The buildings look really old, don't they, Professor? Indeed, Luke. I don't recall having ever seen such a town like this before. This is my hometown. But, Professor, you're an archaeologist. Surely you'd have some understanding of the history here. Or is it just the archaeological side of things? Then this must also be from where the witches pursuing you are from, is that right? That's right. Espella, what exactly is this book? It seems somewhat valuable. This is the DM's notebook. This book is the Historia Labyrinthia. As I'd said just a moment ago, everything about Labyrinthia is written in this book. Everything. The entire story. The DM meticulously planned for every eventual possible outcome. And immediately, halfway through the first session, they completely derailed it. The DM got mad, and that's where the witches came from. Labyrinthia's story? If it contains absolutely everything, then it must also include something about witches. Yes, it does. All about the witches, and the events in the town, and the people living there. Everything that has happened in this town is written in this book. And not only that, but also everything that is going to happen. Eh? What did you just say? The Historia Labyrinthia has been added to the items. Everything that is going to happen. The ultimate DM. And somehow this book is small enough to be carried like this. Apparently, everything that takes place in Labyrinthia is written in that book. Espella referred to it as Labyrinthia's story. The town of Labyrinthia, portrayed within a book entitled The Historia Labyrinthia, is an old town the likes of which the Professor and Luke have never seen. Espella claims to be from this town. It is also strange, some people when they looked at things like this, you'll notice that the P in Professor is not capitalized. Some people look at that and go, oh, it should be capitalized, but it's weird. Professor isn't a name, it's a title. Just as you can write Doctor, you went to visit the doctors, but if you referred to a person as like Dr. Smith, you'd write the D in capital, because you do it for DR, like you would, I think it's PR for Professor? I'm not sure. So, it's kind of an interesting one, but this is one of those translation things that could potentially be seen. You see the word Professor, it's not a name, but it is a title, so it should be there, I think. I'm very bad with words, so words I'm not doing good.
Professor, this certainly is.
See, like, if you look here,
strange.
professor is capitalized, but it's also the start of a sentence, so should it be?
First that letter from Carmina, and now this book. If you ask me, Espella doesn't seem to be lying. But witches chasing after people, it's all a little hard to believe.
Now we get the stupid cutscene. This place is locked up really tightly. I've locked the door and done everything.
But I do find it fascinating.
Oh, poor thing. Do you want to come in from the rain?
Why didn't... yes. I like the fact that Luke, the person who could talk to animals, immediately surmises that this is the case. And now... I love the cutscenes in this. They're just nice. They're animated nicely. They're smooth. They got brilliant scoring to them. I love it. And also as well, despite the plot points that you can argue are a problem, if you look at this cutscene, if you go back to this cutscene at the end, it's very well done. 90% of the time. 90% of the time. But no, don't you see, Luke? That very big dog is in fact a holographic projection.
Professor, what was that?
This line
That, Luke, was a witch.
is so chilling. Because you got the professor going, witches didn't exist, or there was no actual proof.
Professor, Espella's been...
And then it's just bam! Bam! Straight in there. Like, that was a witch. It's such a nice thing to
Yes,
see.
that was careless of us. But to think they might enter by such means.
Actually, that was just careless of you, Luke. But I'll say it as both of us so that you don't feel too bad about it.
And after I'd promised to protect her.
Do you think that was one of those witches that Espella was talking about?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly looked that way.
I do like that as well. The professor is very much a man of caveats. It's like, I'm not going to say 100% certain until I can be 100% sure of it. But it does seem that way. It's so... This game so is a D&D campaign. I'd like to check for traps. Rolls of 15. It doesn't appear that there are any. Well, I can't say for sure, but it certainly looked that there were... You can't say for sure, but it certainly looked that way. This is just a D&D game. Oh, that's great. However, I have noticed the recording time. We've been going for a fair bit of time here, ladies and gentlemen. We've started off the first episode of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Hopefully, you will enjoy this new series. And if you do be sure to let me know with the liking, the commenting, all that stuff. Make the YouTube real algorithm like it. I'm not particularly great about it, but I'm doing this for the fun of it. And hopefully you're enjoying it too. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Supersonic Blur. Remember to like, comment, subscribe for more, and to share this stuff so people know that it exists. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I shall see you all next time.